to make it 100 plus 20 plus 20, that's 40. Wow, you can see it's not balancing, so I need to adjust. The center of gravity also must not move. We have video on another experiment that talk about a situation where center of gravity will be moving, will be placed on you will be shifting the center of gravity, but your mass will be fixed. The original mass will be fixed. The new mass, maybe one of the mass will be fixed. We have video like that, but I don't think that one is the picture of what will come out in the Neco. We also have experiment on it. I'm just telling you that we have experiment on it. This thing is still touching here, so then I need to move towards this place. For those of you that this is your first video of us you are watching, do well to turn on your notification button. We release a video every time. See, especially when we are in scene of examination like this, we work on information we receive. So turn on your notification button anytime we are doing live. Also, you will be part of the viewer. You will not miss any of the moments we give out here. So we are trying to balance 140 on this. Is like I'm feeling that it will be balanced here, but let's see together. As long as it is free from the surface of your table, it shows that it's balanced. You may wonder why I'm saying that. This is, look at our environment. You cannot be 100% free from air. Let me just say that. You know, we human, we need air to breathe, so definitely all those things. But at least you must feel the surface. Your surface of the table must be free. When it is free, it shows balance. Now, what I'm saying, the thing is balanced on 75. It is balanced on 75. I'm very so lucky that I don't know how decimal point. I don't have maybe 74.1, whatever. It's exactly on the point of 75 here. And same thing, all those one I've been receiving, I'm also seeing on my exact point. Maybe because the thing is also exactly on 15, maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. Now I got 75. 75 minus 50, that gives us 25. And with this, I'm very glad to tell you that we have finished the experiment. As when you have the right information, you don't stay longer on performing the experiment. Information has been given, your own is just to practicalize it. And from there, you move to the next thing. Table has been settled, we have read information, we have used our table to interpret. The next thing will be how can we use graph to interpret. But before we go to the graph, let's check very well. We have our comprehensive information that we need concerning this question. Let me just shift. I think my table can still be used like this. Let me just a little bit shift. Maybe a little bit shift. We have settled it. They say we should read and record the position of y, which we have done that. Read and record the position of y. We have done that. We have recorded the position of y. Which one again? Of the mass m on the meter rule. Determine and record the distance L, which I and you we have done. Distance L, we have done that. You saw that. Between the mass and G, between the mass and the G, the center of gravity, that's how we got our L. Also determine and record the distance D. Luckily we did that. That will indicate the distance between N and G. We can see we have fulfilled all the tasks given to us. We can even mark it here because that they done. Repeat the procedures for 4 orders. For 110 we did 120, 130 and 140 all settled. In each case, ensure that n is kept constant. Yes, it was kept constant. And which again at 15 centimeter, yes, at 15 centimeter. Alright, and the knife edge at the center of gravity kept constant, which we did that fully. And they said we should evaluate the inverse of L. We have L. Now let's get the inverse. I think I should be using my table with what we can see. Let me just continue maintaining it like that. Let me continue maintaining it like that, and we have L inverse. L inverse. Since we can enjoy it, I don't need to stand up. Let me just continue with what we have. Let's enjoy it, like I said. Let's enjoy. L inverse. Now let me bring it back. Now, to get the value of L inverse, let's go. L inverse is just 1 over the value of L. When L is 35, 1 divided by 35. I'm having 0.02 0.0285. Since I have correct calculator, I can leave my answers in 3 decimal places. So I'll be having 0. I have 0.0285, so it's 0.029. Very simple. I'll move to the next thing again. I move to inverse of 32, 1 divided by 32. You also, like I told us earlier, that you also get your book and be doing it. You also can continue doing it like that. So we have 0.03. We have 1, 2, so 1 still there. Alright. Inverse of 29. 1 divided by 29. I have 0.034. You can see the inverse is increasing. Definitely, with something is coming out. 1 divided by 27. I have 0.037. We are making progress, and the last one, 1 divided by 25, and I have 0.04, and that's how we finish all the instructions given to us. The next will now be we should move to our graph. Please do wait to watch our videos on graph. We intentionally did video on graph so that whenever we are plotting, we are doing experiments. If you cannot talk much about graph, that explanation will speak. Now, plot the graph of M against the L inverse. We are plotting the graph of this against this. I think this time around I will need to stand up so that I will have space to use for this to explain this, my graph. When you are plotting graph, when you are plotting graph, you need to know the graph section. Now let me write graph section here now. We want to talk about the graph section. Now the first thing you need to know is the title of your graph. And how can you get your title? You need to stop yourself about finding the title for the graph. They will give you the statement will say graph of N on the vertical axis against L inverse. That is, you will just tell us the graph of N in gram against, if you like, use versus, you can still say the same thing, against L inverse in centimeter inverse. So that's the title. And that one is settled, it has its own mark. I move to scale. When you talk about scale, now let me go to my vertical axis. Which one is on my vertical? That is mass. I will check the smallest one, 100, and the highest is 140. So with that sense of that graph, I can use 2 centimeters to represent 10 units. Truly, my counting, if I use 2 centimeters to represent 10 units, though at 100, that's where my counting starts. But no matter how, we still add my graph. Because although what I need is from 100 to 140, or precisely, if you want, you can also make it, if you want to make it bigger, go ahead. If you want to make it bigger, maybe you want to use maybe 2 centimeters to maybe 4 centimeters to represent 50. You want to place your own in 50-50, no problem. But just remember your hidden values, the hidden values that you have here. Everything will still be at the top. So here I'll be very glad to use 2 centimeters to represent 10, which means that from 0 to 10, 100, I won't have any values there. But when I get to that peak, I will start having values. Or precisely, I may use 2 centimeters to represent 20. I can also bring it closer. That is, let me use that one. 2 centimeters, that is on M G axis. 2 centimeters to represent 2 centimeters to represent, what am I representing? 20 grams. To represent 20 grams. Right. Now on my L inverse, the smallest value is 0.029, and the highest 0.04. So in that one, I don't have any business. I can use 2 centimeter. If I use 2 centimeter represent 0.01, maybe a little bit compressed. Let me use 4 centimeter to represent. Okay, I can use 4 centimeter here. So 4 centimeter to represent 0.01. That is on N inverse centimeter inverse as is. I will just say 4 centimeter. Like I said, you can be trying it on the, as I'm saying it, try it on your graph and put your comment in the comment box. I want to even see your response. That's how we know that we are doing it together. I have decided scale. Try the scale and let me know if the scale fits or it doesn't fit, or you don't like the scale, or you have another scale you want us to use. Put it in the comment box. Make it a community. Let's interact. Alright, 4 centimeter to represent 0.010. What's the unit? Centimeter inverse. And that was set to the issue of scale. How would the graph look like? In this video, like I said, we are not going to talk about graph. I'll also create some graphs separately that will do it, because graph also will take us, we need to analyze it very well. So here, our L inverse, our M will be here. Our L inverse will be here. Our L inverse will be here. Now, that is should be, if I have my origin here 0, the mass is increasing, the length inverse is also increasing. That is, the graph will be a positive direct graph, where we have, you bring out your slope as usual, 90 degree. You have the point you want to mark, that is my M2, and I have the point to mark as my M1, same thing, point to mark as my L inverse 2, and likewise L inverse 1. So with this, I can move quickly, saying that slope S equals to change. You write it very well. You that you're writing the exam, don't miss any mark. Change in mass, change in M in gram, over change in L inverse, in centimeter inverse. So to cut long story short, what am I saying? I'm saying M2 minus M1 over L inverse 2 minus L inverse 1. Your unit must be following all the work you are doing. So at the end of the day, I'll be having my answer in gram over Cm inverse. Now, we have mathematics to do work out here. That is G divided by 1 over centimeter. You know our flipping over G times centimeter. So the answer will be G centimeter. Mathematics in action. So the answer will end as G centimeter. And that is how we finish this. We have a precaution to take. Take 2 precautions. You know what precaution will be? The precaution, as I was doing it, I ensured that it was done where there was no breeze, where there was no hair. Because I used meter rule, I would say I avoided error due to parallax when taking the readings or the measurements on the meter rule. And I ensure that my ruler or meter rule is fixed at the center of gravity. I ensure that that mass or no mass is also fixed at the point mentioned. And that is all about it. So this is all what we have concerning this episode of the Mechanics. So I'll be very glad to see you in the next video. Please turn on the notification button, subscribe. It is well with all of us. Bye for now.